Wow, what's good, ladies and gentlemen? This is Let's Knock the Radio Podcast, and I am the host of the show, the Let's Knock the. What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Man, I'm back with you guys today in the studio. I had to get in the studio and talk about the store, man. A lot of stuff been happening around the world. A lot of stuff. The trades, the Luka trade to fucking LA, the trade from LA to fucking AD to Dallas Mavericks. A lot of shit has happened in the past couple of days, in the past couple of weeks, and I've been wanting to get in these seats to talk about it, but I've been so fucking busy with my job and everything, man. I haven't had a chance to really do anything. I haven't had a chance to get in the studio to do reactions. So, man, I say, you know what? I got a little bit of time today. Let's go ahead and get directly into what we hear, man. I say, let's go ahead and talk about it. So you see, if you see the title at the bottom, you should be able to see that little video at the bottom. We are talking about the incident that happened with LeBron James, no other than LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith. Man, this shit has went viral around the world. Everybody's been talking about it, and everybody had their little say-so about it. So I say, you know what? I gotta give mine. I do not like this. I say that first of all. I do not like it. I do not like what happened. It's a bad look. It's a bad look. But we're going to talk about it. But I want to give you guys the context of what happened. Let's go ahead and watch the video of actually what the incident with LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith. And we're going to get to the rest of it. Let's go. So you saw that. That's actually what happened. A little snippet of what happened. A fan caught that and posted it, and it went viral. In the caption, it says that it seems like LeBron James is basically telling Stephen A. to keep my son's name out of this shit, or to keep my son's name out of your mouth. A lot of people took that video and went just crazy with it and started saying that shit that LeBron didn't say. That LeBron pressed him and said, hey, keep my fucking son name out your mouth, bitch ass nigga. Or keep my son name out your mouth, lame ass nigga. Or whatever the fuck phrase they use for LeBron James. And everybody's been hammering over it. Everybody's been talking about it. But what nobody has talked about, but I'm going to talk about it, is what this looks like for black men. See, the world wants us to fight each other. You see what happened when Will Smith did what he did to Chris Rock? Everybody in the world talked about it, right? Because it was something that happened on a global stage. It was something that happened at a major award show, and everybody saw it and everybody talked about it. But what they did not understand is the psyche, what happened to these two guys. Even if now we know that now they say that shit was set up, it was fucking staged for that to happen that way, for them two guys to do what they did. Whatever, right? But the impact of it, the talk about the impact story that happened after that took place, that shit made the world shake, right? So in this statement, man, this shit happened. This shit was really crazy. I really feel like Stephen A. Smith wanted to say more on his podcast. We're going to get to that as well. Let's see what Stephen A. said, and then we're going to get to some more shit that came out. This is what Stephen A. Smith had to say on his podcast about that incident that happened. Let's go.
Now let's get to a subject that's apparently gone viral on social media today, and it also involves yours truly. Last night I was in attendance at the Knicks-Lakers game, sitting courtside, where during a timeout, I believe it was in the third quarter, I was confronted by none other than LeBron James himself. LeBron had some choice words for me in regards to comments I've made prior about him in regards to his son, Bronny James. Before I get any further, let me just put to bed a couple of things that have been reported that are false. People was talking about LeBron called me out my name, or somebody said he called me a bitch. Somebody said he called me a punk and all this. None of that is true. He was fiery. He approached me during the game and he said, "Stop effing with my son. That's my effing son. Stop effing with my son." I said, "What? Nah, man, straight up, man to man. Real talk. Stop effing with my son." And I saw how furious he was. And I said, "We can talk about it later." "Nah, F that. Stop effing with my son. That's my son. That's my son." I said, "All right, dog. Fine." And he walked away. That's all he said. I knew what he was talking about. I've spoken about this before. Matter of fact, I heard that not many, not all, but a few players were upset at me about that. I think one player in particular was Draymond Green, who I haven't spoken to since and has no desire to speak to me primarily because of this, I suppose. And I found out the way that I found out, which was last night while I was at the game. I was a guest of Ari Emanuel, owner of William Morris Endeavor, founder of William Morris Endeavor, rather. Founder of Endeavor, I'm sorry, before they merged with William Morris. And I was a guest of his, sitting at the game with him and Larry David from Curb Your Enthusiasm. I was sitting courtside, and the next thing you know, out of the blue, LeBron came in my face. Obviously, since he brought up his son, he was piggybacking off of what I had said weeks ago. And what I had said weeks ago is that when Bronny James was struggling, and I threw out some stats and stuff like that, and I said he's not ready. And then I came on this podcast and I reiterated that point. Clearly, it was something that was on LeBron James' mind that he was aching to confront me about. And so it happened the way that it happened. Now, before I get into anything else, let me say that LeBron's agent, who is Rich Paul, his boy, has my number. Maverick Carter, who's universally respected and is a big player in the industry these days, he has my number. It's very easy for LeBron James to have called me. It's very easy for one of them to have called me and to say, "LeBron wants to see you. He wants to talk to you face to face, man to man." That's not what happened. Last night at the Lakers game happened. Now I get, and people have said to me today that I'm.
So that's what Stephen A. Smith had to say, and he went on First Take earlier that morning and spoke on it as well. Now, this is what I want to talk about right now. For the people that's on the TikTok, because we just started it, for the people that's on the TikTok, we're talking about the LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith situation that happened. And I'm giving you guys a different side of what happened. So, a lot of people been talking about this, and I really want to say this, man. It's a bad look, because you seen what happened with Chris Rock and Will Smith, how that situation played out, how it looked into the world. It made Chris Rock look like a punk. It made Will Smith look like a bully. It just was crazy, right? Everybody talked about it. But in this situation, this is a little bit different, because these are athletes who play a sport called basketball. Now, I want to talk about it in this aspect. A lot of people have been speculating that LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith don't like each other. It is now not a rumor anymore. It is proven to be a fact that Stephen A. went on TV and he said it as well. Him and LeBron James haven't really rocked with each other his whole career. He, whatever reason it might be, he don't like Stephen A. Stephen A. likes him a little bit, respects him as a player, but really don't mess with him like that. He gives him all the credit in the world, but it is what it is. So, My thing is, right, LeBron James, this is for you, my guy. You one of my favorite players. Up into this situation, you were one of my favorite players in the league, LeBron James. But this kind of make me look different at you, brother. And I don't care that everybody keeps saying, and even Stephen A said it out his mouth. You go back and watch the full video, his full video of that show. He said LeBron James didn't come at him as the player. He came at him as the father. I know a lot of fathers who are in the NBA, whose sons are in the NBA, who have not done that to reporters. See, like Stephen A said, you play the game, I covered the game. You play the game, I covered the game for many of years. I have not seen one fucking coach, one player / dad coach who played in the NBA do that to reporters when their sons make it to the NBA. Name me one. Wait, other than LeBron James. The same guy, LeBron James, who said his son at the time when he was in high school is better than fucking 85% of the players or 65% of the players that's in the NBA. That same LeBron James said that about his son. But then when his son got to the NBA, he didn't have that same spark that LeBron James thought he had. He didn't have that same fucking sizzle that he thought his dad thought he had about him, right? Your son is an athlete now, LeBron James. He's an NBA player now, LeBron James. Are you going to micromanage his career, his whole fucking career? Even when you retire, LeBron James? You're going to tell reporters not to talk about him if he have a bad game, LeBron James? This is crazy, LeBron James. And I keep saying your fucking name like that because I want you to know I, as a fan, is disappointed. And you probably saying, who the fuck is you? I don't give a fuck. I'm a millionaire. You somebody that's doing a podcast in this closet. Yes, I am. But I'm a fan nonetheless. Up until what just happened. Now, LeBron James, the player, right? Hey, kudos. People think you number one. Stephen A say you number two in the all-time. Nobody gives the respect to the person who should be number one. That's motherfucking Bill Russell, my favorite player in the world. Bill Russell, one of the greatest to ever fucking do it. 11 championships. Nobody never do it. Nobody will ever get close to it to do it. But nonetheless, Bill Russell don't get the respect that he deserves. They give it to Michael Jordan as the GOAT. That's y'all GOAT. My GOAT is Bill Russell. But at the end of the day, let's look at the stats. I got 3 different stats across the board. I got 2 players who are on the worst teams possible. I got a player from the Washington Wizards, the worst team in the West. I got a player, from the Utah Jazz, worst player in the West. And I got some stats from a player that's on the Washington Wizards, worst team in the East. The fucking Utah Jazz and the fucking Wizards. The worst team on both brackets. I think the Wizards only won 13 games, and I think the fucking Jazz only won like 14 games. I got those 2 guys' stats, and I went down and got the lowest person who contributes the lowest. Not who play a lot, who contributes the lowest. The first guy is Oscar Thompson. His stats is 5.6 points, 7.4 rebounds, 0.4 assists, and a 65.2 field goal. That is on the worst team in the West. Then the next person from the East side, his stats are 5.7 points, 2.6 rebounds, 0.8 assists, 48 field goal, 0.8, and he's on the worst team on the East. Why I say that? Let's look at LeBron James. And I understand he don't have that many games to really judge it. I understand that. His points, 1.4 points a game. His stats, 1.4 points a game. Rebounds, 0.4 0.4 rebounds, assists, 0.4 assists, and 25.8 on field goals. Why does this matter? Because he's a fucking NBA player. The same NBA player that his dad said was better than the league. How the fuck is that possible when LeBron James' team, the Lakers, at this point are second in the fucking seed? They're second. He's on one of the best teams in the league right now, and he's only averaging not even 2 points a game. Not even 2 points a game. But he don't have no right to be talked about. He don't have no right to be talked about, even though he's a fucking NBA player now, ladies and gentlemen. I would understand if this young man was in high school still. Yes, and that's one of the things nobody gives kudos to Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. always have said that's why he did not talk about Bronny James when he was in high school. He did not want to talk about him while he was in high school because it was unfair to him, because people wouldn't have judged him the way they're going to judge him. Anybody in the world know that. I'm pretty sure Carmelo Anthony's son, as great as Carmelo Anthony's son is right now, when he gets to the NBA, people are going to judge him because of why his last name is Anthony and his daddy was Carmelo Anthony. The same way Dwayne Wade's son go to the NBA, they're going to judge him on the factor of what his father did in the NBA. If Shaq's son go to the NBA, he's going to be trucking praised about he's Shaq's son, but he's going to be looked at as, is he going to be like Shaq? He's going to be dominating like Shaq? Is he going to be better than Shaq? It's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. It happens so often. Tim Hardaway Jr. in the NBA. His dad was in the NBA. It happens. Jared Jackson, everybody's son. Dale Curry. Dale Curry was a great point shooter. But guess who's better than him? His fucking son, Steph. It's going to happen. If Steph Curry's son go to the NBA, guess what's going to happen? He's going to be judged like his father. Can he live up to his daddy? Do he got the Curry sauce? It's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Why the fuck are we making this a big deal? That Stephen A., who gets paid to talk about sports, says something about sports. He gets paid for it. So, in closing, I believe LeBron James owed him a great apology. And as a fan of LeBron James, I'm not going to watch your shit. I'm not going to patronize your shit. I'm not going to like your videos. I'm not going to subscribe to your channels until you get this man a public apology. Because you knew doing what you did in that time at the fucking game, you knew how the world was going to take it. Like you punked Stephen A. Smith on the sideline. You owe this man a fucking apology because he was not wrong about your motherfucking son. He was not wrong, and I don't think nobody who gets paid to do what they do is trying to hate on your son in any motherfucking way. He just told a motherfucking truth, and the truth is, your son at the moment stinks. The truth is, your son at the moment is not living up to what you said he was supposed to be. The truth is that your son still needs more time to develop his skill, and that's what it is. That's the whole fucking factor of it. You can not like it. You can hate what the fuck I'm saying. You can hate what the world is saying. But everybody knows it but you. And I understand because you're the father of that son, I'm going to give you a hand clap. Because in the world of society, we don't see fathers taking a hold of their sons and getting a hold of their children's lives. I commend you for that. Because a lot of people are doing the same shit to Deion Sanders because of what he wants for his son and what he know his son deserves. I understand that. But that don't take away that what you did to fucking Stephen A. Smith was wrong as fuck. And I'm holding you up to accountable. You say you're a great man, you're a great father. Let's see if you walk that shit back. You owe this man an apology. because he did not one time say anything bad about your fucking son that was not factual, that was not true. Look at the stats, man. These two fucking players that I just named, Oscar and Tossins, are on the worst team possible in the NBA. The worst teams. And their stats is better. Better! And I understand they've been playing the whole season. He just got to the NBA after leaving the G League. I understand that. But come on now, LeBron James. You said it. And let's be honest, your son wouldn't even be on the Lakers if it wasn't for you, because he was not supposed to get drafted at that fucking pick. You made the team draft him. You forced the team to draft him. Just like some people don't believe it, but you forced AD out of that bitch. You did. Ain't nobody in the world buying that you didn't do that shit. You did it. Money talks, but LeBron James makes shit walk. If you don't want to do what LeBron James say, he gonna take his talent to go to like Miami like he did. I'm gonna take my talent and move to Miami. That's what you did to Cleveland. Then you went back to Cleveland and gave him a ring. Then you left Cleveland again. You up and down your whole fucking career. And some people like that about you, but I just think you need to give this man an apology, bro. Real talk, bro. Man to man. And you don't have to. Who the fuck am I? I'm not an athlete. I don't make millions of dollars like you do. But I am a fan that watch. I am a fan that watches both people, you and Stephen A. Smith. And I've been watching First Take every fucking day. And this man has refused. He refused to talk about Bronny James. Just because he know it was unfair to that young man. You put too much on your son's shoulders. But you are a father, and I get it. But guess what, LeBron James? Your son is an NBA player now. He's going to be talked about. People who have podcasts like me. People who have small podcasts like me. People who have large podcasts like Stephen A. Smith, Cam Newton. We're going to talk about it. That's what we get paid to fucking do. Talk about what happened in the news. Talk about what happened in sports. The news channels. What do you think those people are doing inside the NBA? Shaq, Ernie, all them people. What do you think they doing? Charles, Perkins. What do you think Stephen A. at First Take is doing? Talking about the shit. Cut the shit out, LeBron James. You know what you was sitting your son into. You've been in the league fucking, 20-something years? You know what your son was going to come into. That's why I understand why Stephen A., I give him a little leeway when Stephen A. say, come on, man. This generation of basketball players is soft. You bitches are soft. I said it. You niggas are soft. Because guess what? Back then, you didn't hear nobody complain about the people talking about them. You didn't hear Allen Iverson complain that the NBA was talking, inside the NBA was talking about how bad he looked. You didn't hear that shit from Tim Duncan. You didn't hear that shit from none of these great players back then. Not even fucking Jordan. And I don't like the nigga. I gotta give him that respect. Jordan didn't complain as much as you bitches complain in the NBA today. We gotta get this shit together. And as a fellow black man, the world cramped it up. The world was eating their popcorn like this, waiting to see Stephen A.'s response. See if he was gonna go back at LeBron James. And he took the great road that I wouldn't have took. We would have had some words. Because you would have stepped to me like that as a player at the game, and I covered the NBA. Hey, the next day I would have been. Hey, you would have had to come see me. You would have had to come see me, partner. That's just real talk. Because you're not gonna fucking embarrass me like you knew you was trying to do. You embarrassed the fuck out of that man. On the day that he was supposed to feel happy yesterday, he was not even happy that he got a contract extension with ESPN. He felt bad because what he felt like he did to your son. And I'm gonna tell you again, Stephen A. Smith, you might not see it, but I hope you fucking see this video. You didn't do a damn fucking thing wrong. Not one thing wrong, Stephen A. Smith. You spoke from your heart. You say what you had to say. You was honest, and nobody could hold you accountable for what you being honest. Because you was fucking honest. He's not up to par. He's not up to par. And everybody need to understand that shit, that you have players that's up to it and you have players that's not. And clearly, he's not up to it right now. He has some more growing to do, and that's okay. He's young. He's only, 26, 20, what, how old he is? Not even 26. I'm lying. How old is this guy? How old is Bronny James? Let's go back. How old is Bronny James? 19, what? How old he is? I'm looking right now. He still got some more growing to do. He's still got some more growing to do. He's young. It's not like he's not going to get better. He's going to get better. But the world and LeBron James is making it seem like Stephen A. Smith was shitting on the LeBron. We're saying he sucked. We're saying that he don't belong in the league. He didn't say none of that. All the man said was, it's unfair. It's unfair that his dad is putting this much pressure on this young man. That his dad, he's 20 years old. Young. Baby, fresh out of Similac on his breath. He's still young. He's still young. 20 years old. He still got more time to grow. It was right there the whole time. He still got more time to grow. Give him a break. I get it. But he's not up to par right now. And that's all our jobs as honest people who do this job, who make podcasts, to call it like we see it. And if he was out there, Stephen A. was dick riding, as the new kids say, dick riding Bronny James, everybody would feel like he was glazing LeBron James' son, glazing Bronny James, as you guys say, and it wouldn't be unfair. I'm just a guy who has a podcast, who has an opinion. Don't shoot the messenger. I feel like LeBron James needs to give this man a public apology, because he was not wrong about what he said about your son. And until you do, I will not watch your shit, LeBron James. And it might not hurt you because I'm just one person. But I think we all need to get on the same token. Get this man a fucking apology right motherfucking now, because you was wrong. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys when I see you.